Welcome to the topic of writing. So every 3 weeks, we focus on just the idea of writing. So we as the tutoring program create worksheets. We create an activity that we give to you, the tutors, to then pitch to the kids every single week. So you always know the type of activity you're supposed to do. You always know the expectations that we have for these kids, but it's up to you to help pitch it to them. And it's up to you to help them fill in the entire time with that activity. So I want to kind of show you a couple things to be aware of, and then a couple things that you're going to be able to use as tips and tricks to help them get their writing done. The first thing is that we do collect their work at the end. And so the goal is that we do have physical work to keep. So not everything should be done on a whiteboard. So whatever you're doing, if you can use whiteboards, but we really want you to then translate it to paper. We want you to then put it on the worksheet or put it on another piece of paper that's a little bit easier to write on. So I just want to keep that in mind as I'm talking about these activities. There's a couple ways that you can use these materials, but always have it in paper. So the first thing is we do have whiteboards. So for kids who maybe are struggling with their handwriting, which is a large thing that all of our kids struggle with, and you realize, hey, they're zooming through this activity, we got to make it harder for them. Have them write their answers on the whiteboard, help them make it look better, and then transfer it to paper. As you can tell, the whiteboard does have these lines. So it shows them where the uppercase letters are supposed to end, where the lowercase letters are supposed to end. And our worksheets don't always have that. We just have open space or just have plain lines. And so if this is helping them write, or if this is something that they need to write better, we do have paper that you can ask for that has those lines on there. So if you start with this, and this is making their handwriting amazing, this is helping them understand what the sentences are supposed to look like, then instead of writing all the answers on the worksheet, you can write all the answers on this and just think of this as the extension to the worksheet. So that's just one thing that you're able to use as whiteboards, and you are able to use paper with the lines. Another thing that helps kids' handwriting, another thing that helps kids feel comfortable with pencils is pencil grippers. So we have a couple types of pencil grippers. We don't have a million of either. So whatever they use, I do need back. But our first one is just a basic pencil gripper. So it goes on the pencil. It helps make the pencil a lot more comfortable to hold. They don't maybe have to grip on it as tight because it's just larger, it's bigger, it's more comfortable. Another type of pencil gripper actually has the divots in it. So when they're writing, they know where to put their fingers because it shows them where to put their fingers. So those are two types of pencil grippers that help them write. But I also want to encourage you that as they are writing, as they are just sitting down at a desk completing this thing, if they need time, if they need an activity that is an addition to the writing to keep them engaged, to keep them answering the questions, you can have them write an answer and go run a lap and then come back, and then they have to finish another answer to then go run another lap. Those types of incentives help the kids feel engaged, to sit it down at the desk a little bit longer. We also have floor desks. So if they're sitting on the floor, if you need to find a space that's just you and them, you can just go find literally a corner of a room to sit in. Obviously you're not alone with a child, but if you need to go sit in the big room where it's a lot of empty space and you just need to sit against a wall, we have floor desks that you can just put that go above your legs, and it's a flat surface. I imagine it like a TV tray in my head. And that's another tool that you're able to use. I just want to encourage you that these kids need help with their handwriting. They need help with their punctuation. So as they're writing, if they're flying through it, help them add by working on their punctuation and their handwriting. It's okay to erase things. If it helps to write more things on the whiteboard first and then transfer it to whatever paper they're using, that's okay. But also, if they're really new to writing, help them with their handwriting early on. If you help build those skills, if you help them understand what the letters are supposed to look like, then they're going to be able to do it better later on too. So either way, we really don't just want them to write. We don't want just for them to communicate their answers. We want them to do it well. We want them to know what goes into writing. It's not just finishing the sentence. It's not just writing the answer, but it's doing it correctly. It's doing it in the whole way. So we're just excited to have you be able to help these kids work on writing. It is a skill that is obviously something that a lot of kids struggle with. So with you just continuing to come back, you continuing to pour into them, it's just going to be amazing. And so if you have any questions, if you have any comments, you can text me or you can come early to tutoring, and I'd love to work on it with you.